Good morning again, once again, and welcome to Passion Influencer Africa channel. Welcome again, and today we want to have a discussion about general issues that we face day to day in our lives and in our situations. It's not going to be a long presentation because these are just question and answer of overviews that people say observations that people made during the past week's presentation. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to have a full swing of discussions on. I believe tomorrow is when we'll start on the importance or the relevance of mysticism on the mind. Is it relevant? Is it therefore important that, say, for example, when you take of mysticism, we take of the whole spectrum, as starting from the word prayer. Do we need to pray? Yes, it's true that we need to pray, and yes, it's true that things happen as a result of prayer. So we want to see that connect, and we want to see what connects the infinity from the finite world, and how we could benefit on that, and of course fast track that progress. So today is various topics. Hey, what do you think? As a viewer, let's relate. Let's trust that you are at your best, and let's hear you out. And we've had previous comments before, so we are just asking that the presentations that we have had in the past centered on how to transform ourselves, and yet we are told that one of the most important chapters of the Bible is the phrases of the Bible is the one which says, "Be still and know that I'm God." How relevant is that to our lives? Be still and know that I'm God. Well, to take a layman's view of that, you just say that that is the first statement of a meditation session. That we never become still, and God gets worried that we don't become still, because as long as we don't become still, we don't listen, and as long as we don't listen, we are just trying to create, to work. Even the Sanskrit Sri Yantra model talks of creation and destruction. Talks of the two opposites, the creation act and the destruction. But people push themselves, I want to create, and they think since things are physical there, that it takes a physical activity in order to create, right? To a good extent it is, but it's whatever you see on the physical sense is actually the creation of a thought, an impulse, an idea, which came on the background. We are therefore saying we want also to practice on where we generate the good thoughts, because the same place we generate the good thoughts is the same place that, if it is unattended, will be covered with the thoughts. Come on. Sounds straight enough. No, probably you didn't get hang of it. We are saying the place where we get the good thoughts is the place where, again, the venom, the unwanted, the weeds hide from. It's mentioned severally in the book Think and Grow Rich is that if you left the garden unattended, what would happen? It'll be full of weeds. If you left the garden and looked after, what would happen? It will be full of unwanted fodder. So the only way to preserve that garden is constantly weed it, constantly keep it clean, constantly keep it undisturbed. And this is what we are trying to do. This is continuously what we are trying to do as members of the group. We are trying to be, number one, be in conversation with ourselves all the time. Because if you're not in conversation with the group, some other person is working around the clock to try and penetrate the group with the wrong message. That happens everywhere. We have formed a group. We are people. We must constantly keep our purpose in sight, because what happens is that the groups have a power of its own. In fact, the logic of a group is take a simple code of one person, take a simple code of two persons. When you have two persons, how many ideas do you have? You have definitely three. You have the original idea of one person for this person, one person for that person. Those are two ideas. Then you have what emerges as a result of the group think. And that becomes the third idea. And it's very strong. So when you have two people, the result, the end output you have is three different results. When you have 5 people, then the figure increases in a similar manner of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 for 5. And then each of the 2 of them form a subgroup. And then each 3 of them form a subgroup. And then 4 of them form a subgroup in such a way that it exponentially grows to a figure of around 25. Those are the different mental groupings that you would have, plus the final one, which will now be for them together to operate as a group. So those are the permutations that we are dealing with, mental permutations that we are dealing with, and saying, therefore, it is good to have a group, but also very dangerous to have a group if you do not have a purpose. Because if you do not have a direct purpose, then you can imagine so much energy concentrated on various people and concentrated on one unit, but then the output is diverted, because the output is always equals to what was the original intention of the group to work. So the very moment you are committed to have a group, the very moment you are committed to start a group of thinkers, say very clearly what you want to achieve. And it's a common mistake of people to say, let me just cheat the group that we are thinking of this. I know we'll divide it, we'll subvert it, and use it for a different purpose along the way. That is what happens in political groupings. In common practice, you'll find politicians calling youth and engaging them that we want you to help you. We want to help you extract you from poverty. And we therefore have identified a piece of land that you people should come together and will help you take over that piece of land. And because this person, politician, is smart enough, he'll make sure that 10% to 30% of that land is registered in his name as one of the group. And he'll persuade them that, look here, I'm the one coordinating this. So one piece of land, a good chunk of it will be registered on the individual promoter's name. And then the group is left amok, is left to struggle over the rest of the 80% or the 70% which is remaining. And then the good number of them will not have achieved what they wanted, because in the initial state, it was not their intention to own a piece of land. They were keen on getting food for supper, food for dinner, food for breakfast. So what happens is that such groupings, therefore, they are a group, but the purpose disappears somewhere around between 6 months to 1 year after their formation. These groups therefore become very dangerous. They engage in crime, they engage, and they're very successful, because the dynamics which formed them, the affinity which made them to work together, was still there. It was fact the major identifying factor for them to be created. So with that in mind, once you have set on your mind to set up a group, the first thing that you have to do for that group is to set goals and objectives. And let these goals and objectives be very clear. Let these goals and objectives be very well pronounced, such that any third party coming in would know that these are the goals and objectives of this group, and would therefore subscribe technically at the point of entry, would subscribe technically to the philosophy and thinking of this group. Thereby, you will now have the final one. We said the final one is the group think. At that stage, therefore, you will have the group think, which is working in alignment with the individual wishes. So Groups are nice. Learn just how to use them. The concept of being still that we started with is a powerful meditating technique. It tells you when somebody says, be still and know that I'm God. It's really not God who wants you to hear him out. Because when God wants us to hear him out, he can shout like a thunder. He can shout like a whole microphone, no, megaphone for that matter. But this is a scenario where he says, be still and know I'm God, because he wants you to listen from within and hear the voices coming from within. We rarely listen to ourselves. We will focus anywhere. Whenever we are having a situation, we'll focus anywhere. We'll talk to every third party. We'll go to every forum to try and address the issue, but we rarely take opportunity and sit down with ourselves and say, let us listen to what our intuition is giving us. Yet what our intuition is giving us may be probably the best placed response that you would expect under these circumstances, for the simple reason that the intuition belongs to us. There's no way the intuition will be working in hostility or working against our general program. It belongs to us. It works in our favor. It works on our focus. It gets its real essence. Its essence it gets from us. So it will give us the best solution. So one thing that we should develop is, number one, the courage to use our own institution. The courage to use our intuition, for the simple reason that we have been taught for too long that if you don't know the answer, look around. The catch is that you have been looking around for the answers, and as you look around for the answers, you now don't get the good quality answers. You get reject ideas, or ideas which are being propagated by others for their own benefit, not for the communal benefit or for your own benefit. And the result of that is that, therefore, so much energy that an individual uses, you use that energy for the benefit of others, not for the benefit of your own. In other words, you technically get listed into his service instead of your service. So it's only when we take periodical breaks called listen to yourself, otherwise referred to as meditate about it. As we meditate upon issues, new perspectives come to us, number one. Number two, we start identifying the solutions with our real needs. When you look at a solution and you say, okay, fine, somebody has brought a solution. Solution is to drill water underground. This machine is able to drill water underground. It depends, because if your circumstances are such that you are living in the river, or you are living next to the spring, or you are living on the way path of the spring, why would you need a water boring equipment? You may not need it. It's not at least on your list of what you need urgently. It would not be there. So build on that. Let's work on that, and let's develop a lot of respect for our internal needs. Another matter to work with is that as we say, be still and know that I'm God. Be still has many meanings. Meditation has got very many diverse meanings. There's the process of meditating by using a mantra, where you are repeating a particular word, and you repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it until it works. I think this is relevant with groups and institutions like, groups and institutions like the Maharishi effect. Maharishi, the TM, works very much on a mantra, a repeated word. There are some other meditative techniques where you just listen to the body, just listen to the hands, and you start feeling the hands heavy, and you say, my hand is heavy, my hands is heavy, my hands is heavy. Then you start feeling your lips, and you say, my lips are also heavy too. And that idea, the end object is to take you into a deep trance where you feel your body, and you are acutely aware of your body, but your body is silent, what is called as the alpha state. And remember, one of the points where it's very easy to influence the subconscious mind is also the alpha state. So it will serve you for two reasons. Number one, it will quieten your body, your anxiety and your fear levels. Number two, as it does so, when it gets you to that level, it will enable you now to tap in on your internal resources as a human being. And number three, finally, as you get into that level, you will also now be able to listen to universal wisdom, the universal energy of thinking. Just like batteries, live batteries, the brain is a battery. The universe also has its own brain, which is also a similar battery. When you combine the two, the benefits can be immense. So another way of doing meditation is, we just talked of the one of Maharishi Yoga, and that is Maharishi Yogi, and that is TM, Transcendental Meditation. The other options of meditation, there are people who use colors to meditate. They use light or they use colors to meditate. Yantra, a focus object, a focus on object, a type of light, and you use it to focus your mind. That quietens the mind. Also, that by the effect of working with waves, entrains the brain into a particular wavelength, and therefore has the physical and also the internal subconscious benefits. Then you move to the third type, using breath. Breath is a very powerful way of releasing unwanted fears, unwanted tensions, unwanted stress from the body. When you go deeply into it, what's the yogis call prana yoga, where you use breath control. The breath can even be used to generate heat of the body. It can make you sweat when it's cold. It can make you cool off when it's hot. It's a continuous way of process. Ours is just to try the first basic one for relaxation and for gaining stability whenever we wake up. Just put your, these are your hands, just put your thumb on one of your noses. You will breathe in, you will breathe out. Do that also the other one. Watch the way I'm doing it. As you continue to breathe, and I request you to do this a minimum of 100 times. As you continue to breathe, 3 things will happen to you. First of all, you'll hear the voice now becoming clearer. The voice gets tense and then tense up and it's almost locked up. But the more you create, you release tension on the body, and that's why probably what they normally call the stage fright. Once you have gotten again used to it, when you're suffering from the stage fright, what happens to you is that the fear environment gets over and clutches your voice, and people go around working on various ways of how to solve that problem. The quickest and easiest is, I remember what Bob Proctor talked of, is the sense, or Zig Ziglar also brought it very clearly, is the sense of saying we always assert our impotence and assume that we must act in accordance to certain standards. But sometimes that becomes even an impediment. You are invited to go and speak on a stage, and the only person you are thinking of is the minister who